Episode 145, Jonbenet Case, Schizoid.
Schizoid.
Denoting or having a personality type characterized by emotional aloofness and solitary habits. A schizoid person.
Schizoid. 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 Schizoid.
This episode focuses on the scenario that Burke killed Jonbenet. That he hit her on the head, he made the garrote, he strangled her to death, and he might have assaulted her also. That's what this episode is about. And so let's take a look at some of the facts of this case. I think Burke had a bad temper. It's like he had a chip on his shoulder. He had hit Jonbenet before the murder. I would have to say it was probably a year and a half. They were playing in the yard, and apparently he hit her with the golf club. Right here, points to an area under the eye. She, Patsy, says the kids were playing. Burke lost his temper, and he hit her with a golf club. Detective Schuler. Okay, did you take anything else outside? Like, I remember seeing some photographs of some golf clubs. Do you play golf or anything? Burke Ramsey. Mm-hmm. Do you ever take anything like that outside? No. What would you take outside? Just a golf club and a little golf ball. Do you know which golf club? Like if it was a driver, a kicker, or a putter? No, just a club. Whose club was it? Mine. Do you have your own set of clubs? Yeah, they're cut off. Okay, and an editor's note. These are real golf clubs, kids' golf clubs, because he says they're cut off. Thomas Haney. Could you tell us about that? Patsy Ramsey. He was taking a practice swing. He was just a little guy. He was 2 or 3 or 2.5, and it was our first summer there. How young they were there. About what year would that have been? That was 93, I believe. And he was about there with this little wiffle ball, golf balls, and she walked up behind and he kind of clipped her right on the cheek, and she screamed bloody murder. And I jumped down off the porch and grabbed her and, slammed ice on it. I thought he got her in the eye and went down there to the emergency room. And the doctor looked and it was okay. That socket around your eye protects your eye there. So she had a good old black eye for a while. She had a little, I don't remember which eye it was, little abrasion. I took her to a plastic surgeon just to see if there was anything to do to help there. He said it would go away, So that was just an accident? Yeah, He wasn't used to looking around, and she walked right up behind him, so, okay. Well, editor's note here, too. He was not 2.5 years old. Burke was about 6 when this happened, and it was a real golf club. A year and a half prior to Jonbenet's murder, Burke was in the Scouts, and he was into scouting, sailing, camping, and here he is in this picture with the blue ribbon that he got. Oh, and Jonbenet's in this picture also, because she got a ribbon also. And here's Jonbenet. And Jonbenet did just as well as Burke. On Christmas Day, Burke got a Nintendo 64, and he spent almost the whole day playing games by himself and with friends who came over from other houses in the neighborhood. He only quit when they had to go to the White's house for dinner that night.
Jade wins. Flawless.
And Burke had a Swiss Army knife that his mother gave him as a gift, and he used to use the knife a lot to whittle on wood and do things. And then here is evidence, and it shows on number 2 that a red Swiss Army knife was found in the wine cellar near Jonbenet's dead body. And here's the 3rd page of the autopsy report, and the pathologist explained that the white cord wrapped around Jonbenet's neck had a frayed end, as if it could have been cut with a knife. And Burke most likely knew how to make these little knots from scouting and from sailing, and maybe John Ramsey helping him. And Burke Ramsey seemed to enjoy playing in the basement. It was kind of all his train room, his things down there. And so those 2 marks on Jonbenet's body easily could have come from a train track, and Burke poking Jonbenet when she wouldn't wake up, or when she was dead, or when she was unconscious. And here you can see how they line up. In the middle of the track doesn't extend out as far as the 2 outside tracks. And the high-tech shoe prints on the floor next to Jonbenet's dead body could have been Burke's shoes that left those marks. Fleet Jr., Burke's friend, stated that Burke did own high-tech shoes. So there's no confusion. This scenario would be like this. John Ramsey put Burke to bed, and then he went upstairs. But Burke wasn't asleep, and he got out of bed shortly thereafter. And either Jonbenet woke up, or Burke went and woke up Jonbenet, and they went downstairs. And at some point, Burke got out the bowl of pineapple and the glass of tea. And then later, they went down to the basement, and Burke killed Jonbenet. He didn't write the ransom note. At some point, Patsy probably woke up, went downstairs, and found Burke. And then she went downstairs and discovered Jonbenet, and she screamed. And then Patsy and John covered up the murder of Jonbenet by writing the ransom note and moving around some of the other evidence to protect Burke. Well, this concludes this episode of Unsolved, and on the next episode we're going to look into the theory that the unknown intruder was hiding in the basement before the Ramseys returned home from the Whites' Christmas dinner party. So, I'll see you the next time.